Now we're going to go ahead, and this is the piece that I'm going to have on as the base of the page. So let's get the height the way we want it. Where'd my pencil go? Always under everything. All right, let me get that cut. Okay. Come on. All right, so we've got that cut, and now we're going to go from here. Let's see. Well. There we go. Little bit. Okay, so definitely not straight on this piece. Definitely not straight. So let's try and see what we're going to be looking like. That's about it. That is about it. All right. So we need to move this over just a smidge and pick a spot and cut. Pick a spot and go with it. And just if you have done the same with the material as I did, you know, it's stretchy material, and some of it I may have stretched more, maybe on the opposite end, but this side is definitely lower than this side. So one thing that you could have done, if you haven't done it yet, is made a line where your half inch should be, and then you know where you needed to get this pulled to. That probably would have been a very good check for what was going on. Very good check. All right, so here we go. I'm just going to cut my little angles. This one and this one. And we're going to get a little distressing done. And then we're going to move our book out of our way. I tell ya, I have had a rough couple of days. I went to, we have a little cafe in town, and we've been, you know, just when we visit there, we've got like, the owner is a friend, and he's part of the Chamber of Commerce, and that's where we met him, I'd say a year and a half ago or so. And he and my husband had met at the hardware store and were chatting, and he was saying he was having such a hard time trying to hire somebody, or he hires somebody but they don't want to work. And you know, he says, I know the restaurant business is not for everybody, But he said, you know, I'm just having a horrible time. He said, I'm working 7 days a week. And his wife, he says, I make sure she gets a day to make sure that we're getting all the shopping done that we need, plus, you know, try and keep the house up, and just to get they each kind of give each other a day off, I guess. So maybe they're working 6 days a week. Anyway, so my husband comes home to me and he says, hey, you know, do you want to be a good neighbor? And I'm like, well, of course I want to be a good neighbor. What's up? And so he tells me. So I said, well, I can do that. I've been a waitress at a bar years and years and years ago. And I said, you know, that it's not rocket science, but I know it's hard work. And, you know, we've gone in there and have eaten, and it's just a mom and pop comfort food kind of place. There's nothing fancy to it at all. We've gone in there and eaten. They do great hamburgers and stuff. So I said, well, I would love to be able to help if I could. So I went over to him, last week sometime, and I told him, okay, so I'm going to jump back into why we're really here. Now, we're going to go ahead and put the book away. There she blows. And we're going to work on this. And I think I'm going to use this as a... Do I have enough? Maybe this one. Yeah, I think this might be enough. So we're going to make pockets in this. The inset pockets. And so I kind of want just about, what's that, 1/4 inch. And we'll do about the same here. So I'm going to go ahead and cut that right there. All right. And now I'm going to get my little cutter out. And let's see how much we actually have here. Okay. It can never be a nice round number, could it? Well, you know what? Just for cheating, I'm going to make it a nice round number. It's been too hard of a couple of days. I am not going to deal with that. Okay, I'm going to do a 1/2 inch and slice. A 1/2 inch and slice. And we'll just see how many we get out of here. Anyway, so I go talk to him. Long story short, he says, well, come on Sunday and you see what you think. So I went on Sunday. I had a boatload to do for my shop, but I went on Sunday anyway. And so they, you know, they take me around, show me the whole operation and stuff. And it was all, you know, very straightforward and fairly easy to understand and know, you know, whatever. And so, you know, the door's open, we're all working. And I don't know if you guys follow me at all, you know that I am a chronic migraine sufferer. And my biggest trigger is heat. If I'm sweating for any length of time, I will end up with a migraine. It's just that straightforward. I mean, there's just not any way around it. So I am going to do 2 at a time, and I'm just going to take the little ends off. I'm just cutting the little corners crossways. Let me get this one done, and I'll give you a close-up. Just try and make them look up. Yeah, well, that one didn't do well. I'll show you this one because it came out really nice. See, I just took the corners off. But anyway, so needless to say, you know, when I go in there and I eat, there's no problem. It's nice and cool. The air conditioning works, all that stuff, you know. But when you're on the other side of that counter, you've got a kitchen on one side of you and a cook stove, fryer, grill on the other, and then dishes, hot soapy water all the time doing the dishes, which I ended up doing pretty much the entire day. I was in and out of the dishes forever. And then when I got home, I had dishes to do because my husband didn't do them. I was like, oh gosh, if you could have done anything for me today, it would have been doing the dishes. But I didn't actually say that to him. Not fair. Because this, you know, I thought, oh, you know, this, I knew it was going to be hard work, but oh my goodness. Well, and, you know, I haven't done that kind of work really ever. When I worked at a bar, it was because my husband it was a friend of his. My husband was working at the railroad at the time, and a friend of his that worked at the railroad bought a bar, and its nickname was the Cut and Slice. Yeah, it was not a good clientele. So he asked my husband after about the first week because he kind of just inherited the staff, but after the first week he realized that the bouncer was doing more of the fighting and problems, you know, than anybody else that was in the bar. So he asked my husband if he would bounce, because my husband had bounced at bars before. And so I would go over there if I wanted, and he only did it on Fridays and Saturdays. So I would usually go over one of those days with him, and the other day I'd just stay home. So he did that, and I ended up, he called me one day and he said, hey, their waitress didn't show up. Do you mind getting dressed and coming down and waitressing? And I'm like, sure, that's cool. I'll come do that. And I actually really enjoyed it. I didn't ever remember anybody's name because I'm not great with names, but I could remember their drinks. Yeah. I don't know why, but I could remember their drinks. But anyway, so, you know, I had done some sort of waitressing before, and you have to hustle. But of course, back then, man, I was in my early 20s. So, yeah, he had me working for 9.5 hours. I was sweating probably 8 of those hours. And I had started at 10. I'd say by 1:30 I was in full-blown migraine. But with being a chronic migraine sufferer, you just got to learn to cope and deal with it and keep moving, because you know you can't get that many days off from work. You can't stop living. Just, I don't know. I was told that I have a very high tolerance for pain, and I guess that comes in handy with migraines. But so I worked through the day. I was not going to give up on him for the day, but when they had closed, he'd pulled out a schedule and was starting to work on the schedule, and I hated to have that conversation with him because I felt like I was really letting him down, you know, after I came to him and offered to help out as much as I could. It's only going to be for like I said 1 or 2 days a week, but because I, you know, it just started my Etsy store, and that's been going like gangbusters. So yeah, he said, hey, you gave me a day. He said, we got some stuff done that we hadn't been able to get done for a while because he said, so you really did help. And I said, well, thanks. So, anyway, so you add all of that up, and my Etsy store has been doing wonderfully. So those of you that have stopped by, thank you very much. And I really, I really appreciate it. And I'm getting orders out as fast as I can. Whew. Yeah, I got like 20 orders in one day, and then like 17 orders, and oh my gosh, it's been going like gangbusters. But anyway, so I've had a migraine now for 3 days. The medication takes it away, but then once the medication gets out of my system, I've got it again. And yeah, so I'm sorry. I'm blathering along. Let me get a drink. Hold on. And I haven't been able to get into this craft room, so I'm sorry if this was boring. Or if you weren't being able to follow what I was doing. So these are just 1/2-inch strips. And I'm just kind of placing them where I think I'm going to want them. But I'm thinking now, I'm not going to make them little. I'm going to leave them open all the way to the bottom. But if I'm going to have this many, don't you guys think that we should set this up off of the page a little bit to allow room for all of these tags that we're going to put in here? Good idea. Good idea. What do I want to use to do that? Let's see. I don't think I have pieces of this that are long enough. I think we kind of went through this once before. And I think I used the only piece I had that was long enough. So, oh, maybe, no. Okay, so let's see. Meow, 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 meow. And I don't have any little brown strips that I'm seeing. So let's get ourselves a piece of brown here. And I had one that I didn't use, so I'm going to put that back over here. And I did ink my page all up already, so you guys won't have to sit through all of that. So let's get this the same height as this. All right. Okay, and then I'm going to get 2 1-inch strips out of here. So that's 8.5 to 7.5 and 6.5, if you please. Okay. Oops. A little strip. Alrighty. We're going to go ahead and use this. You know, I think, now where did I just stick that? Oh, it's still here. Let's see, is this, not long enough. So I'm going to get another 1-inch strip. So 5.5. All right. Okay, so we've got yeah, I'm going to do a 1/2 inch, and Either go to the left or the right and get yourself an 1/8 of an inch. So you got a little 1/8 of an inch gusset. We could do our, oh, and then that goes right down the center because they're not exactly straight. That's great. So let's move this till we find the line. There we go. All right. Boom. Boom. And do it this way, it'll work. So I just flipped it upside down. Yeah, the score lines go in different directions, but at least they're in exactly the same spot. And then we're going to do this one for the bottom. Goodness gracious. There we go. Okay, and I think that is going to be long enough for the bottom. We're going to cut that one right here. Not too bad, not too bad. Put that in our... All right, clean up a little bit here. Yeah, I think by giving ourselves some of this, a little extra room, we're going to be really happy with being able to get all those tags in there, and that they're going to move ever so nicely in and out. Yes! Line up and pinch. Okay. That one's ready. And, excuse me, now I have the hiccups. Holy moly. There's our one score line. And we're going to fold this one, line it up, and pinch. If you want to move your thumb down a little bit instead of just holding the top layer, you can, as long as you're pretty sure that you're keeping it in the same location. So this is the one I fell off of the score line, so we'll find that bad boy right there. Let's see, where did I go? A little too far. There we go. Okay, there's one of those. Okay. Before I move these, I think I'm going to go ahead let's see. I'm going to line these up so that I can see where I'm putting them. And I'm going to go ahead and glue them down. Wakey, wakey, glue. Wakey, wakey. And because of the way we're going to do this, kind of make sure that you're getting that center done as well. Okay, about 1/4 of an inch away. And line it up with your grid. Bam. Next one. So I've got this one at 2 inches. 2, 2, 2, 2. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So I'm getting it, you know, kind of spreading it all over so it will lay very nicely for us. All right, get this in the same location. And layer down. Make sure we're not moving. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and move these off so I don't move it every time I go to pick something up. There we go. And then we're going to cut these open. And so you will need a craft knife. Not really sure what else you could use if you don't have a craft knife. A razor blade. I suppose you could use a pair of scissors. It would make it easier if you had a hole punch and a pair of scissors. Okay. Another one. Get these on here. Doop, doop, doop. I'm loving this. This is going to be a cool one. Trying to think of things that don't have a lot of flips and flaps and you know, because I'm trying to make these kind of cool, steampunky, grunge look. Get a lot of pictures in them, but not have all of the, you know, have what you do to the paper is your embellishments versus, you know, having flowers and lace and all that. So you kind of use your paper as your embellishments when you're, at least, you know, because you don't put flowers really on a man's. Now, some men love flowers. I mean, you know, and that's okay. My husband loves flowers, but he would not want. He likes guns and knives and and rock and roll. Oh, Guns and Roses. That's it. We're just going to go with that. One of you must have said that because it just popped into my head. Okay, and actually this one looks like it's just going to go perfectly for me. And I'm not going to have to do too much folding. There we go. And I'm going to have to cut this one, you know, get my little corners done on this. But now that this is dry, do I want to go ahead and do this? No, I guess we'll finish this first and then we'll use these. That will just make it so much easier. All right. Now I have, does that look straight? All of a sudden it didn't look very straight. And that's way too dry to move. I think we're okay. I think we're okay. All right. Where am I? Punch. I need me a punch. And this and a cutting board because it don't like the glass. Okay, put it this way. This is an old Creative Memories. This was the first cutting board I ever had. Yepers, this thing could talk. This is 1/8 of an inch hole. That's way too big, and I think this one's a 1/16, so that's way too small. So we'll do this one. So, you know, all you have to have is a little hand tool. As a matter of fact, this one, because it has a catcher for the, it's not that easy to see what you're doing. But I want to go in just a little bit and poke a hole. Go in just a little bit. Poke a hole. And the width of this is 1/2 inch, so it lines up really nicely. So if you have one and it's 1/4 of an inch or more. Now that one I went too far, so I'm going to back off just a little bit. Okay. Make your strips as wide so that you can line them up. It makes it a lot easier to get that hole in the same spot, because if you don't get it in the same spot, your lines don't look nearly as good on these insert pockets. There we go. Okay, so there's our holes done. And then we're going to get our ruler. And we're going to go just below the top of the hole. And make, there we go, and make a cut. And do that all the way down, just to the top of the hole where you can get your blade into it. Ah! Darn it, I tell ya. That I didn't want to have happen, but it did. And we'll try and fix it. Let's flip it over. I'm going to get a little piece of tape. And let's see. It is right along there. This masking tape has sticky on the opposite side sometimes. It's kind of weird. All right, so that should help. Oh, it goes all the way. That part I'm not so worried about, but let's see. We're just going to have to deal with what we've got. I'm going to put a whole piece of tape right across the whole hole and recut. Well, not the whole hole, but this piece of the hole and recut it. Let me just get this all burnished down. There we go. Okay. Now I just want to cut where it's supposed to be cut. There. Okay. So it should hang on to that other pretty well. Okay. Continue on, but don't do that again. You hear me? I'm talking to myself. Well, I mean, I'm technically always talking to myself. Yeah, somebody asked me, so what do you do? And I am having a problem with this moving. They said, what do what do you like to do when you're not like cleaning your house or this or that? And I said, well, I'm a crafter and I have a YouTube channel. And so basically when I'm crafting, I'm talking to myself. So I talk to myself a lot all day because I do a lot of crafting. I might not videotape all of it. Oh gosh, finally, one I did just right. The medication that I take for my head is really rough on me. Really rough on me. So yeah, I'm not at the top of my game, but I am really trying to get this done. For those of you maybe that are making it for Father's Day, I'm going to put this on sale, and I was really hoping to have it done before Father's Day, so if somebody wanted to purchase it as a gift, they could, but yeah. This is Tuesday, and Father's Day is Sunday, so yeah, that ain't going to happen. All right, so I need to see, now I'm going from the other side of the hole now that I've flipped it over, but it didn't work out quite so well. Yeah, it is not liking me. I don't blame it. I don't like me lately either. I'm only kidding. Oh, goodness. All right, let's try this. Yeah, this just is not wanting to. So I'm going to make it work. Just taking, so this is another way you could do it. You could start with some larger holes that you can stick your scissor in and just cut from one side to the other. But the idea is to get it where you can get into it so it's actually open. You can actually see the opening. That's what we're after here. And this is still, gosh, it looks straight, but I'm going to have to just take another little smidge off of this. There we go. Okay. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. So that's what we're after. So we're going to go from the bottom to the bottom and see if we do better. All right. And this needs one little clipping. All right. Got a little piece of that tape stuck out there. All right. Next, bottom to bottom. Oop. See, we're at 39 already. All right. Well, you guys see how this is done. I'm going to go ahead and stop so I can get all this done a little quicker, and I'll be back. All right, so I've got those all done, and I'm going to go ahead and let's see, put down, I don't want to get my glue on my gusset. So we're going to flip this over. And we're going to place this right along the bottom edge. And it should go right to the cut mark, because that's where we measured it from. So from one side to the tip of the cut mark is where this one will be. There we go. And then we've got our next one. I'm gluing the shortest piece down onto the paper so that it doesn't get involved into the pocket areas, because I don't want it to be wider. The pockets are just far enough away Just keep an eye on getting it all the way to the edge on the first score line on the shortest side. Get that out of the way. Alrighty. Let's get a little burnish in there. And we'll make sure that it's not impeding any of our pockets. And it is got a little teeny piece, which I don't think anybody will even notice, but I'm going to just take my hole punch and punch this again. So there, it took that little piece out of there. Good, 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 good. So this is going to be good though. This is going to give us room for those tags. I'm loving it. Yeah, yeah. It's good stuff, guys. Good stuff. Now, this one, let's go ahead and instead of waiting, maybe I got that good. We'll see. A little fuzzy at the end there. All right, glue, please. Oh, I did it on the wrong side. No, it really doesn't matter. It has to be done on both sides. So I'm going to get glue on this one. All right. So we should be able to, on our edges, go all the way to the ends and match them up pretty darn perfectly. Looks good to me. And didn't interfere with any of our pockets. Okay, so now I'm going to make sure that my gusset is standing up. And I'm going to go ahead and glue the bottom piece to the top piece. Making sure though that my gusset on both the side piece and the bottom piece are standing up nicely. So you want it to get squared off just a smidge. There we go. Loving it, loving it, loving it. All right, now we have to get this on as well. And I am thinking that since I added that 1/8 of an inch, that I'm going to add an 1/8 of an inch gusset onto this so that I can get it to work around the pocket. All right. There we go. Oh, that medicine makes me loopy. When I stand up, I have to do it really slowly, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. I don't know. I'm sure there are some of you out there that have to take migraine medicine. It is not fun. Sometimes I just assume have the migraine. All right. Now, do I want to center this? Let's get the book and see if we want to center this. Yeah, centering it is kind of nice, but we could bring it down here. And then you would see one of these up at the top. I don't know. It's 6 one, half dozen the other. It's not going to change the way anything works by centering it or not. So that is completely up to you guys. You figure out which way you like it. And I'm sitting here trying to figure out which way I like it. Oh, get in there. Thank you. I think I kind of like it centered because I want you to be kind of surprised at what's under there. Even though across the top, you're going to see part of the tag that comes out the top pocket. But we can totally control what that looks like. So that's not a problem. That will not be a problem because we can control it. Okay. So, I am going to center it, but this is not center. Well, when you do get it centered, oh, yeah, that works. That works. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and hold this down. You don't want to get any on the gusset. You just want to get it on the flap before the gusset. And we can, whoopsie, we can put our ruler in here and burnish. All right. And then and put this down where it belongs. Yeah. Cool beans. We also have the very top can be a pocket. I don't think I'm going to stick anything in that. I think I will glue that down. I think I will glue that down. So we will glue this little top section down. Now, if you want to leave that as one big pocket that comes out the very top, go right ahead, because you totally can do it, because it's open all the way down. So the only place I'm going to glue is, and all of us would glue, is all the way across this. If you're going to leave that pocket open for the very top, that's all your glue is, just on your hinges. If you're going to seal down, if you're going to seal down the top piece, then you will just get glue on this very top piece right here. Okay? And I think I am going to seal mine down. I think it will also make it a little easier to get, and if you had double-sided tape and wanted to use that here, probably a good idea. I am just going to use glue, because I think it will definitely hold without a problem. But if you do want to take out the slight unknown about that one, go ahead and put yourself down some double-sided tape on each one of the hinges. And then you can add glue to wherever the tape is not. You can put little dots on the glue, like, you know, I do like dots like that, so that there's enough glue that it will kind of float on the dots. But you're not putting glue all over the tape, which to me, why use the tape if you're not going to allow the tape to grab hold of the paper? You're basically putting the tape on glue. The glue dries, and I don't know. It just doesn't make a lot of sense to me on that. And I'm also going to put glue on the top, just the top part of the hinge on both sides, because I do want to close that up as well. Now, I know that this fits right up here at the top and doesn't go all the way straight down. All right. Now remember, you've got those gussets, so there's not really an easy way to burnish. But let's turn the page where I can, before that rest of that sticks down, I'm going to stick my ruler. Oh, come on. And see if I can just run it down real quick and stick everything else down. Come on. Okay, now remove the ruler and see if we can go ahead and still use that glue at the top. There we go. All right. So now we have all these pockets that we can put tags in. This one this size would probably fit. Yeah, and it'll go all the way down. So you can imagine how nice and large these tags are going to be. Okay. So, all we have now is this, which I think is going to be a collage page. And that is page number 8. Woo! Guys, we are done with our pages. Obviously, we still have our collage pages to do on the inside of each one of the folders, but those will go very fast. I see I still have a couple of tabs that I need to do. This one's got an extra page inside. So there's 4 pages here to get done. 2 more. Oh yeah, and we have this. So we've still got a lot of work to do. We've still got this, which I think I might just do a simple pocket in there, because we don't really have too many just simple pockets. This is a good size pocket, but then you've got the piece here, and I can't remember, did we decorate the inside already or not? We did not. We put our pages in for our pictures, like our wallet. Okay, so I'm not going to buckle this back. Just going to set this in here because we've got to do that one. What was I on? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to do 9, 10 because we have to do the insides of these. What's left here to do? This. So 11. And this is not going to get anything done to it. This is complete. Yay. 1. And then this one is 12. So, but I have a quick and easy way that I'm going to do those collage pages. So hang out for that. Yeah, you just hang out for that, because we'll get those done pretty quickly. So guys, thanks so much for watching. I don't know if I'm going to do the inside or the front or the back of the inside cover first. But I hope you join me. I'll talk to you guys later. Love y'all. Mwah. Bye.